A lot of people hear the word masculinity and immediately picture something extreme, either someone who's dominant, unemotional, always in control, or the opposite, someone who's passive, avoids conflict, and calls that being good. And most people end up swinging between these two, trying to be strong, but shutting down emotionally, trying to be understanding, but losing themselves in the process. So at some point, you start asking a different question. What does this actually look like when it's healthy masculinity? Not in theory, but in real life. Because it's not what most people think. Healthy masculinity is not about being unaffected. It's not about always being calm. And it's not about controlling everything around you. It's about being able to stay with yourself even when things aren't calm, when there is pressure, when there is emotion involved, when something feels uncertain. Because most of the time, what people call strength is actually something else. It's just protection, shutting down so you don't feel vulnerable, detaching so nothing gets to you emotionally, avoiding difficult conversations so you don't have to deal with what comes after them. And you can usually feel this in your body too. There is a closing, a tightening in your chest or your jaw or your posture. Like you're pulling yourself out of the moment just enough to stay safe. But that's not grounded, that's guarded. And those can look pretty similar on the outside, but they feel completely different on the inside. Healthy masculinity is different. It's not about avoiding pressure, it's about staying present inside of it. When you're grounded, your body might still feel something. There might still be tension or discomfort or emotion moving through you, but you're not pulling away from it. You're still there, you're still engaged. You can stay in the moment without needing to escape it. So let's bring this into something real. Imagine someone you care about says something that hits you. Maybe it feels like criticism or like you're being misunderstood. Right away, your system reacts. There's a shift. Your chest tightens. Your thoughts start speeding up. You feel the urge to respond quickly. And in that moment, most people go in one of two directions. They either defend or they shut down. They explain, justify, try to prove their point, or they withdraw and disengage completely. Both of those are protection because in that moment, it doesn't feel safe to just stay open. But healthy masculinity shows up differently there. There's still a reaction, you still feel something, but you don't immediately act from it. You notice it first, you feel it in your body, and you stay present long enough to actually hear what's being said. Not just the words, but the meaning behind them, what they're actually feeling, what they're trying to express. And from there, you respond. Not perfectly, but intentionally. That's strength. So, healthy masculinity isn't about being dominant or passive, it's about being steady, steady enough to feel something without being controlled by it, steady enough to speak honestly without turning it into pressure, steady enough to stay connected without abandoning yourself. And that steadiness, it shows up everywhere in how you handle pressure and how you handle rejection and how you handle uncertainty. But more than anything, it shows up in how you handle yourself. Because at the core of it, Healthy masculinity is self leadership, which means you don't rely on the moment to tell you who you are. You don't become a different version of yourself every time something shifts. You stay connected to yourself even when the moment is unstable, even when your body feels something, even when your emotions move, even when there's pressure. You don't lose yourself in it. You don't become reactive every time something doesn't go your way. You don't collapse every time something feels uncomfortable. You stay with yourself. And that doesn't mean you never mess up, because you will. You'll still react sometimes. You'll still get triggered. But the difference is you come back and you notice it sooner. You take responsibility. You don't avoid it or disappear from yourself when it happens. And this is where a lot of people get it wrong. They turn masculinity into something they have to perform or act, saying the right things, acting a certain way, trying to hold a certain image. But real grounded masculinity isn't something you perform, it's something you become over time through awareness, through experience, through learning how to stay present when it would be easier not to. So, if you've ever felt like you're either too reactive or too shut down, you're not alone. Most people were just never shown what this actually looks like. But once you start to understand it, you stop trying to be one extreme or the other, and you start building something more stable. Not perfect, not emotionless, but present, steady, and connected to yourself no matter what's happening around you.